Hello everyone. In today's episode, I'm joined with Laura, and Laura is from Holland, and it's gonna be really interesting because me and Laura have spoken for a while now, and it's gonna be a really nice chat because Laura has autism, and it's gonna be really nice hearing about her journey and why she likes to raise awareness. So thanks, Laura, for coming on to chat today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's gonna be a nice chat. I know we spoke for a while beforehand, didn't we?
Yeah. Yeah, we did.
Yeah. So Laura, could you just do a little could you introduce yourself?
Of course, my name is Laura. I'm from the Netherlands, and there you don't say Laura, but Laura with a harsh R.
Okay.
I'm 43. I have a son, who is 13 now. His name is Dani, and we are both diagnosed with ADHD and autism. And I live in Delft. That's where the porcelain of Delft comes from. And yeah,
Okay.
that's that's about it.
Yeah. So was you and your son diagnosed around a similar time, or was you first and then he was later?
Yeah, it was kind of funny because I had no idea I was like autistic ADHD, and they were looking for him because he had like different behavior. And they always start with, "It's you are the mom, it's your fault." And I was really agitated because, well, why always tell the mom? It's the
Mm.
parents. And I have tested him when he was 5, and they had misdiagnosed him. They said, well, he has a high IQ, but he has a discrepancy. So just go to play therapy, it will be fine. And I was like, oh, no, this can't be the right thing. And then I had to wait like 2 years. And I went to another organization, and they said, well, we would like to test you first. And I was like, why? Because I'm here for my son, not for me. Yeah, but we always look at the parents before we look at the kids. And I had to do an IQ test, and that was like around 127. And then I had to do the ADHD test, which was like, oh, you have ADHD, the combined one. I didn't agree with that one because I thought, well, I know people with ADHD, and the stigma around it. I also have like a stigmatic view of that because I had no idea what it meant to have ADHD or autism. And I thought, well, they have to look further than that. And then they did an autism test, and they say to me, yeah, you have autism. So then they knew where to look for with him. But it's really strange because he was diagnosed 3 months later, and I'm diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder, and he was with Asperger's. It's so weird because we don't use the terms anymore. But
Mm.
well, we are both double diagnosed, so
Yeah.
it was kind of weird because I didn't expect me to have it. I did expect him to have it, but not for myself. So it was yeah, it was new for me, and yeah, I knew nothing about it. It was so weird.
Yeah. And like, was this quite recent? Would you say?
No. It's like 8.5 years ago
Oh,
right now.
yeah, I was yes, yeah.
It's good, but it took quite a while to get tested. And the thing is, normally when you get a diagnosis, you get like a therapist and help and psychoeducation. So you get to know what ADHD and autism is, especially the autism, because there's not a lot knowledge of women with autism, because every book I read was about little boys with autism that love trains. And I'm like, I'm not a boy and I don't like trains. And what do I have to look for? And I started looking for books from people with autism themselves, and not people who have studied to be a professor or studied to be a psychologist or whatever. I was looking for the real stories because you get a diagnosis, and it's not that you have like every symptom that comes along with the diagnosis.
Yeah.
And because I think I grew up with a brother and a sister, and my parents didn't know at the time, so they just let me do me. So for me, it's really normal to just do me. And now I have to change everything because, oh, suddenly you're autistic and ADHD, and what does it mean? And I think that's the hard part of getting a diagnosis, because if you already know you're heading towards something, then you can read into it. But I just did the reverse thing, and I wasn't expecting to get a diagnosis myself. So it was kind of a weird thing for me, to be
Hmm.
honest.
Yeah, like a bit of a shock.
Yeah, a big shocker, because you know what I say about stigma. ADHD, that's like common. I know a lot of people have it, and you can look it up, and that's not a problem. But if you talk about autism, especially with women, well, I didn't know anybody who had it, so I had nobody to talk to and to spar with. And how do you do that? And how does it feel for you? And it was like, here's your diagnosis. Hi, bye. That's it. And if you have to figure it out yourself, it's really, really hard. And last year, I came across the Instagram, and I thought, well, let's make a page. And there I found my peers. It's so weird, because then you're already so long diagnosed. And I went to a peer support group. How do you call that? The peer
Yeah,
support.
yeah,
Um, but those people were not like me, because they only have autism, not the combination. So there's a slight difference in it. And on the Instagram, I really found my peers and the true stories, and it helped me so much. I think that the last year helped me more than all the psychologist or peer support groups I have been in. That's like amazing.
yeah,
And meeting guys like you, and several other accounts. That's really, really amazing.
yeah. I think it helps. I suppose, like you see other people that have autism as well, like
Yeah,
they're like on
yeah,
Instagram as well.
yeah. Because they post stories, and if you read them and you find it relatable, or you think, oh, I'm not the only one who has this. Oh, so do I have to deal with that those things? You can do it like this, or it's not a weird thing. I'm not weird, you know. It's kind of lonely if you have nobody that has the same processing disorder, because, well, a disorder is like, I think, not a good word for it. I just, my process is different. I always say it's a roundabout here in my head, and sometimes the topics just stick on the roundabout and they don't know where to turn off. So it's much easier to talk with other neurodivergent people, because they don't need um, a lot of information to get it. They
Yeah,
just get what you say, and that's so comforting. It's really comforting.
yeah, yeah. I didn't create my page until 2020, and I've had autism since I was 9, and I am 20 at the moment. So I would possibly have been 18. Yeah, I would have probably been that, like it was like pandemic times, start of it. And yeah, I wasn't really thinking of creating a page just dedicated to raising awareness of anything really. Um, and then someone actually mentioned it to me, because an organisation that I'm an ambassador for, um, that they had their own Instagram page and they needed ambassadors to help run it. And I do help run it, but they said, because everyone's got to be a part of that, like to do that page. And then someone said, "Hey, why don't you create one for like raising awareness of maybe autism and Crohn's?" Originally for Crohn's it was, but then I think that it's good, like as for a podcast, for example, where like making it not just about one thing. Like you can have something else on a topic which is um, maybe two completely different things and relate them
Yeah,
kind of, even though they're different. But like with having autism, for example, everyone has a different journey and it's different, isn't it?
yeah, it really is. Because some people just are recently also late diagnosed, and they already have so much help and so much information. And um, this is also the reason why I'm went to college again, to be experienced an experienced expert. It's like the Dutch translation, if I just
Okay.
translate it literally. The thing is that you help other people with autism, ADHD, and all the side things that comes along, like anxiety or panic attacks, or well, I think everybody on this spectrum will relate to some things that come along the way. You did have anxiety, you did have tension, you were like quickly burned out or stuff like that. There's always something you can relate, and that's what I wanted to become, because I never knew what I wanted to become in my future until I got this bumpy road after my diagnosis. And then I thought, yes, I really need to help others, that they don't get the diagnosis and well, that's it. No, they need help. And that's the best thing to do. Even if you help just one person, that's like a good thing, I guess.
Yeah, I think it is. Like, you just need to help one person. And then, yeah, like you don't know who you're helping, I suppose. Like, you could be maybe creating a post on social media that you talk about
Yeah,
yourself, about your autism, and then you see another person comments or says that they feel exactly the same. Um, I did have a conversation with someone that we related to things in another country. They're doing similar things, like handling the pandemic over there. Um, then it's the same, kind of similar situation over here. Like, kind of, I suppose, forgetting it's. I wouldn't say they. Well, it kind of feels like people may have forgotten about the pandemic now. Um, but yeah, it's just like those kind of things where you can
yeah,
have something in common with someone.
yeah. And especially what I noticed the last 2 years, that people are very, very lonely, especially because um, the lockdowns, things are closed, they can't get their peers, or they don't see people anymore, and then they're at home or only at work or work from home, and they miss the conversations, they miss the attention of being there. Because if you only are on your computer at home and you may have your kids or your dog or your household or whatever, if you have that for 2 years, it's like getting stuck. And I think it's like a good thing that we have Instagram or social media like Twitter or whatever, so you can find things. And I think a lot of people during the lockdown discovered that they are neurodivergent
Yeah,
because they walk against the wall at a point, because you get confronted with yourself, and that can be very lonely, but also scary, because I don't know how it was with you when you were very young when you were diagnosed. I
yeah,
don't know how it was for you getting a diagnosis at the young age, because a lot of people get diagnosed late, and then you already lived your life until a certain part, and I always compared like this. I played a part or a character or a role in a script that I couldn't read, because I just copied and pasted everything from my brother and sister. It's like, oh, this is supposed to how I have to talk. Oh, I just have to say this. And I remember that I was like 30, and my boss told me, Laura, if we have a conversation, it's like normal that you look each other in the eye. And I was like, okay. Nobody ever told me before, but I never did it. And those were like, it was before I was diagnosed. Those are little things. Um, I still don't like it. I always look for a point between the eyebrows or whatever. But those are little things that, if I look back, that should be like recognizable. It's
yeah,
so weird.
yeah.
Nobody ever told me.
Like, when I was younger, um, like, I knew other people that were diagnosed as well. After a bit of time, um, and yeah, like that. When I was younger, there was quite a lot of people my age and young getting diagnosed early. But now, um, I see more later people and later on in life get diagnosed, and um, which is it's different, because when I was younger, a lot of people younger were getting diagnosed back in, would have been 2009, at the time, and then now we're in 2020. Sorry, 2022. um, and then you see it's different, like people getting diagnosed, speaking to different people, and actually thinking, like I spoke to other people and kind of thinking that they do know of autism. They know it because they're older, they're older on in life, and I suppose you would kind of think other people would, if you're older, but it's surprising because some people don't, and that's what other people may mislead and stuff.
I think, and I'm going to be really honest, if they haven't tested me because they wanted to know what my son's behavior caused, then I think I still wouldn't be diagnosed right now. And that's like the weird thing, because people always talk about high functioning, low functioning. Like, I don't like those terms because you have autism, and what you don't see on the surface, because people can look as if they are not dealing with stuff, or just really good in dealing with stuff, but it doesn't mean you don't see what's behind the surface, because I'm struggling every day, every single day, but it got normal for me, and because you don't see it doesn't mean I don't struggle, or I just choose my battles and try to be, I just do like make a happy face, and that makes things easier for me. That's kind of masking too, to be honest, but that's masking for myself. I tell myself that to be positive, and nobody else has to tell me that, because I know if you stay positive and you turn something not good into a positive one, like the lockdown, for me it was like heaven. I loved the lockdown because it was quiet and I don't have to go to a shop. I can do everything online. It was like heaven until the lockdown was over. It was like a tsunami, you know? So those things are like behind the surface and you don't always see it with somebody. Yeah. And I
Yeah,
think, yeah.
yeah, because people don't see, like if you don't talk about it, I suppose even you do speak about it, some people unaware of autism probably still won't understand, and I suppose tiring having to explain autism to different people all the time sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's annoying because I know I worked at an office, and it was like, how do you call it, like an office garden with
Yeah,
26 people, and it was for the government, and we have like to do phone calls. It was customer service, and that was good for 1 week, 2 weeks, but all of a sudden I hear like everybody talking at the same time, and I really had an error in my head from that, because I couldn't uh, um, see what my conversation was, what my neighbor's conversation was with her. It was so much at the same time. But they always thought I was a little quirky or weird, or maybe a little tensed. You're so sensitive. But I wasn't sensitive. I just wasn't aware that those are like uh, it's a sensory overload of voices that came in. And if you look back on things, did you have like things in your childhood that make you think, "Hey, I'm different," or
yeah, yeah. Like I would always maybe struggle a bit more, like school and stuff. I was always, I suppose, in the group that needed extra little bit more help. Um, and I wouldn't ask for it either. Really. So that kind of, I suppose, was a sign. And yeah, I found it difficult to ask for help, and I would lie. I'd fib it if I did need help, just so other people in the classroom wouldn't see me like as a dumb person. Really. But yeah, like in other things, I'll be good at, like other things like hobbies and interests of mine. I'll be kind of, I suppose you say, like, obsessed. Like if you
yeah,
like
yeah,
something, um, and I think quite a lot of people who have autism do, like if they have something they're really interested in, they'll like be
yeah,
they
same.
it'll be that one thing, and it may be that one thing a lot for a long time, and I suppose it's hard to change that one thing. Um, so yeah, like that was kind of a sign for me.
Yeah. What were your special interests?
My special interests. You might have guessed. um,
Doctor.
so yeah, the doctor. um, I people who listen to podcasts a lot, they'll know that. And football, I like football. Hence why I think I said about Van Dijk from uh, uh, uh,
Virgil.
yeah, but Virgil Van Dijk beforehand. But yeah, like they're two of my most things I really like. What are your interests?
Yeah, I have like made autism my special interest. Of course, I think a lot of people with who are autistic have that because it's such a large thing to dive in, and I'm really interested in the way people think. And what I really my special interest is painting, and I'm a hobby photographer. How do you say that? Photographer.
Okay.
Sorry, that was like Dinglish, Dutch English. Um, and yeah, I used to do a lot of fighting sports. I was really obsessed with that. I just trained like 15 hours a week. But well, some hobbies and interests are sustainable and some are tearing you apart. So because I train so much, it's like not good for your health at a certain point. But I do notice that certain interests that I had, like crystals, I like to collect crystals and stuff like that, then I'm really into it. And after a few years, I don't care about it anymore. But then a few years later, I'm interested again. It's like, I don't know how to explain that, but yeah, it's going to the background and then something else pops up. And that's more interesting at that point. You know what I mean?
I used to do that. I used to collect diamonds and jewels when I was younger, actually. And yeah, like you had the I remember when I was younger. I think they were these eggs, where little chocolate eggs, where you get a little toy in it.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. The
um,
children's surprise
yeah,
eggs.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah, yeah.
I wouldn't eat the chocolate. I just get the toy and store them in a box. Um, and I would say, yeah, I'm gonna eat the chocolate. Just
Yeah,
for,
those were so cute. My son collected them too.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
He,
And
he he did eat the chocolate though.
oh, he did eat it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not about. I don't think I like that chocolate. I'll probably eat it now. But it's like those like little football characters. Like the football card. I'll collect all them. Um, there was even I had a bag. I don't think I have any more, but I had like all these figures and Doctor Who things and like in a bag. I
So
think there's
cool.
Lego. So yeah, I did collect quite a lot when I was younger. Like you got sticker books and stuff like that, and it's very interesting. But yeah, it's nice when you collect stuff.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I love it because if you have like a down day or just a day, you know what I mean? It's like not good, not bad, but you're bored and you don't want to watch TV, and you can always go to your special interest, and that gives you so much energy. But oh, I do have another one. I like to write. I write things down. I started the children's book, but I never finish it because I'm on chapter 8, and then I'm like driven off to something else. But it's on my USB stick, so I can get back to that one day. But writing is just like if you got like a full head, what I told you the roundabout with all the thoughts, it really
yeah,
helps to write things down. And I love to write poems, lyrics. I don't sing because I have the worst voice. Trust me, I will never sing. That's not good for for our ears. But I do love to write the lyrics, and I do love to write stories, short stories, or um, like my study. Then I really want to dive in a topic, and then I really want to know everything about it and write it all down. Yeah,
mm,
that is also a special interest, and that's never went away. It's always, I think that's the only one that sticks.
yeah, yeah. Like yeah, it's writing. It's fun. Like, do you prefer to write on piece of paper or like on computer?
Oh, both, both.
Oh,
But if I want to save it, then I type it in my computer as well.
yeah, yeah. Because I suffer from my joints. I do. I get like really achy with them sometimes, and I was got given like on a pencil or like at school, and it was quite annoying because they said, for example, you have to have a pen for English and a pencil for maths, and you can't use a pen for maths because you can't rub it out and stuff. And so I got
Yeah.
given this rubber thing, like to help my joints on the pen and stuff, because what I would do for it, writing, for example, if I would just write it all down, I probably won't do any full stops or commas or anything. I'll try, but I just get all the ideas down, and then it's like I've done a lot of work if I just
Yeah, yeah.
continue writing, and then I have to stop because my hand's achy.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. My son writes in hieroglyphs. He's like the ancient Egypt. His handwriting is terrible, so I just say only write when it's necessary. And when you're older, it gets better. And if it doesn't, we have a computer, so don't worry.
Yeah, yeah, computer's good. Like,
Yeah, that's the good thing about technology.
yeah, and the good thing is, like, on the computer, what you can't do in normal writing is if you're writing maybe a short thing, just make it the text big. So it's like
Yeah,
you've done a
yeah.
lot.
That's like really annoying. Then you're writing things down with your pencil and your paper, and you want to put your your fingers on the paper. That doesn't work. It's not a tablet, you know. It's
Yeah,
just a paper. Old style.
yeah, yeah. I with my autism, I'll say I'm sensory. Like with mine, because I don't like noise.
No,
Like,
me neither. No.
yeah.
Well, what are the most annoying sounds for you?
People eating. I don't like
Really?
people like although we often make noise when we eat, but not people that like it's like they're in a zoo.
Yeah.
Like you got bashing on their plate, and then and then you think just to yourself, I don't make that noise. Why are you making it? I don't make that loud.
Yeah, and also when people are eating, they put the fork against their teeth. It's like such an annoying sound. That's the one thing I just can't stand. A fork against your teeth. That's like, oh, it's like a crayon on the how do you say keyboard.
Yeah, the chalkboard. Yeah. I don't like that sound.
Or very high noises. And I used to work at a children's daycare, and what I didn't understand, because my child never did that, some kids really scream very loud, and I'm like, oh, that sound, how can it be so high? Like, also when you walk outside near, like, how do you call it, when the children are outside playing, they are like screaming really loud, especially when they're like 4, 5, 6 year old, and they have so much fun. And I always think, how can you have so much fun if the noise is so loud?
Yeah,
Well,
like I don't like people that eat with their mouth open sometimes. Well, not sometimes. It's just annoying.
all the
Uh,
time.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. Like there'll be. I suppose I did that when I was younger, not knowing that it was rude and it's not nice. But like, like, like just first school, and then yeah, I admit I did do it, but and then once I known that people, well, it was silly and like it's not good. I stopped and I just eat with my mouth closed. Like, of course, we have to open it to put stuff in it, but
Yeah. That would be difficult to do
yeah,
otherwise.
yeah, yeah. It's
Fun though to see how you wanna do that.
yeah, be interesting. Um, um, but although like it's difficult to explain because like if you don't like those noises, and then you're fine with maybe football noises or something like you're going to a stadium and it's noisy and people if you say that to someone that's unaware of maybe autism, they would think, how come you can go to a stadium full of people and listen to that amount of noise when you can't eat, when you can't listen to someone eating and hearing a scraping noise on a plate.
Yeah, but it's just it's so difficult to explain why certain noises are triggering, because the thing that I hate, my son really is a huge Formula One fan, but I can't stand the noise of the race cars.
Yeah,
So I just bought another thing that he can look upstairs, so I don't hear the noise, because it's really that are sounds that I get like meltdowns from. I can't explain it, because if I hear it too long, it's like scratching nails on a plate, you know. It's like, and it
Yeah.
keeps going on, and it
Mm.
has to stop.
Yeah, yeah, I understand what you mean. I can understand why that would be irritating. Like I actually bought a Formula One game last year for the first time for a while, and although I liked the game, and then after a while I stopped playing it. I didn't mind the noise, but I know like like it could be the same. Well, I know it's something different, but like noises of a lightsaber in Star Wars, maybe like
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
like people may be irritated by that, like the slashing of it and stuff, and yeah, like a TARDIS sound in Doctor Who. It could be it's very peculiar when there's all these different noises that irritate us.
Actually, the lightsaber noise is very nice. It's like vroom, vroom.
Yeah, yeah,
My son had like two of them, so we always vroom, vroom. That's the only sound that's not annoyed, like not annoying for me.
yeah, yeah. It's a shame that they're like in the films. They're not actually like that in real life.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. But yeah, like Star Wars is I do like the lightsabers sound. Is I suppose it's quite relaxing.
Yeah, it's like a kind of vocal stimmy. I don't know how to explain it otherwise, because the sound is like soothing,
Yeah,
and other things it's really annoying. But I think it's like vroom, vroom. It's like, yeah, I just can't explain. It's just like water. It's really
mm,
calming.
yeah. Laura, because you diagnosed it would like 8 years ago, um, with autism, like I think you said that you didn't really know what you didn't hear of it before you was diagnosed.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
The
Like
only thing I knew
yeah,
about autism was like, yeah, the typical the movie things, you know, like Rain Man and stuff like that. And
mm,
that's not the real life, you know.
yeah, yeah. Like how long? What was your feelings when you got told that you have autism?
The what?
Like, how was you feeling like once
Oh,
they
the
told
feeling.
you autism?
Well, I did believe it, because I couldn't believe that I had like ADHD, because my view of ADHD, what I told you, was like stigmatic. I always thought that were busy people that never could sit still and talk a lot and fast. And but when they said you have it combined with autism, that was like more, now I get it. It was really that everything fell in place, because when I started to read things about it, and that was like a little later, because first, I don't know how it was with you because you were young, but if you are late diagnosed, you have like certain stages you go through, because the first thing you think is, now I get it, because
Yeah,
it's like an explanation, and then you get irritated because of the missed opportunities you had, and then you get grief because, well, you have been treated not well. If they know you had like autism at that point, they would treat you different and they would help you. And then there's anger for, I don't know why, just the anger. And then after that comes like the acceptation, and that's like the good part.
yeah,
Because once you accepted it, then you can make it your own. And then you know, you don't have all the symptoms what I told you, and then you can say, okay, this is what bothers me, but that doesn't bother me, so I have to find my way. And I think the hardest part of being autistic is to look where your borders are, like, until where can I go, and what's mine and what's yours, and where do I don't want to go, because everybody has a comfort zone. And I truly believe you cannot ever grow if you stick to your comfort zone. You always have to
yeah,
do just one step. Just one tiny step is enough to uh, to come to a point where you want to go. Because
yeah,
if you stick to the place you are, then you're never gonna go anywhere else. So um, But yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's
Yeah, there's so many things that you can do in your comfort zone. Like if it's just chilling, like watching the telly,
sometimes
or
it's
yeah,
necessary to do that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It could be like on like for your son maybe playing Formula One.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I do have like how do you say it? A Switch. I bought it
yeah,
last year,
Twitch,
and I
yeah.
bought a game that I just played in 3 months, and then I finished it, and I was so devastated because I only like that game, and no other game is like that. It's like Monster Hunter, Monster Hunter 2, and there's no other game like it.
What
I
was the
don't know
game?
how that is for you. Monster Hunter 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. I know what you mean. Um, yeah. You played the first one, or is there
No, no, this was the first one that I
oh, that
just
was the first
bought.
one.
So I thought, well, that's a new one. That just take that
Oh,
one, and
yeah.
I didn't thought I would like finish it in 3 months. So
Oh, okay.
it's a little sad, but well, you can play it again.
Yeah.
Just start again.
Yeah, it's a shame you can't wipe your memory of what happened, and then you can you just play again. You can't remember it.
Yeah, I bought another game, and there was totally different gameplay. I just like the gameplay of that game, and I do have Super Mario, but I didn't play it because, you know, when you played it when I was young, and you die in the game, you always hear that annoying sound.
Yeah,
And I played it and I heard the sound. I said, I'm not gonna play this one again because the sound is so annoying. I just can't stand it anymore. So I just stick to my Monster Hunter.
yeah, yeah. You should just stick to your game.
No Mario Bro.
Yeah, yeah. Like for me, my game is football from FIFA. I'll play other games as well. But I like action games and fighting games, but I play football. I like FIFA. It's called. And yeah, like I get that every year. I do. And yeah, I'm I'm on it when I on a podcast.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Or I'll have any free time maybe, and then yeah, I'll play that, and that probably be my comfort zone, or watching Doctor Who, or even watching the same episodes. I would um make a different kind of videos, and yeah, like, it's different. And like actually yesterday, I listened to a song, and I really liked it, and like when I listen to a song, I kind of picture I'm in a different place where I am, like just maybe dancing to it, or something like that.
Oh, do you have like the same thing that you uh, put that song on again and again and again and again because it's
Yeah,
so
yeah,
comforting? Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
I do that thing. Yeah, watch episodes like that's maybe kind of weird, but like The Big Bang Theory because I always have to laugh about it, and I think I saw all of them maybe 10 times, the whole series, just because it's like familiar to know what is gonna happen, and then he's gonna say this, and then he's gonna say that. Oh, that was a funny episode. Let's watch it again. It's like or movies. I think I saw Encanto already 7 times.
yeah.
Still can't get enough of it.
I need to watch that. I hear.
It's on
I,
Disney. It's the new Disney
yeah,
movie.
yeah, yeah. I've
Or
seen it on there.
they already have a new one. Yeah, Turn Red is a new one. We already saw that one 2 times as well. So I just can't get enough of it.
Yeah, yeah. Like I still need to watch that because I hear everyone like I think relating autism. I think to that film on Disney Plus, and I do want to watch it at some point. And then the thing is, I see another thing I like. Now I put that on, and then I don't go back to what I think I said I'm gonna watch.
Yeah, you forget about it indeed. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. Like people tell me to watch a series, and they recommend it to me, and then I say, yeah, I'm gonna watch that, and then I watch something else.
4 years later.
Yeah,
No, no, no.
yeah, yeah. Because that series Peaky Blinders at the moment, and people tell me to watch it, and they say it's really good. And for me, I actually watched I first a couple episodes, and I couldn't really get into it.
Yeah,
So
I have the same thing with that
yeah,
series. I
yeah,
just couldn't get the hang of it, and that's mostly like other series. You just get the hang of it after the first season, and then it's gonna start getting interesting. But I don't have the patience for that.
no,
I
no,
just wanna scroll through the end and something's gonna happen. Is it
Yeah.
getting interesting, or why does it take so long to get like exciting or something?
Yeah, yeah, and like I saw there's only a couple episodes of series, and I thought there's no point watching it.
Where's the fun
Yeah,
here?
yeah. What's the fun? They can't.
Yeah.
I don't know how they would.
Nobody is like
Yeah,
slaughtered with a huge how do you call this thing, a sword or whatever.
yeah,
They're not turning
yeah,
into zombies. They're not like White Walkers. What's happening?
yeah,
Nothing.
yeah, yeah. I couldn't get into it, but I probably will try it at some point. But as if I get into it, like so it's like any series. If you get into it, and if you can't, some are really interesting where you kind of you watch one episode and then you want to watch the other one, and then the next
Yeah,
one,
yeah, yeah. Then
and
you binge it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah, and then like it's interesting because like if you watch a normal TV series like let's say Doctor Who for example, when it's on on each week and you get excited because it's going to be on the next weekend, and then with these other series like like on Netflix or places on like that, and they're all in one, and then you watch it all and then you've got to wait another year for the next one.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And you know, it was a series that I don't know. It was on BBC, I think. I just bought the Blu-rays because then you didn't have Netflix and stuff like that. It was called Fringe, and it was
Oh,
such an awesome series.
Fringe.
Fringe, yeah.
Oh. Was that on Netflix?
No, no, no. It was on the BBC.
Oh, on the
So
BBC.
I bought them on a Blu-ray because it was I couldn't find them anywhere, and it was such a good series. So if you want to find something that's not like Peaky Blinders but suck you in the story straight away, then that's a good one.
Yeah, yeah. I'll watch anything. I would. Like, I'm not one for like picking like genres like horror, and I do like horror. I like horror, action, adventure. I like any really. Like you have some people that don't like horror and like.
Only thing I don't like are like zombies because I just think if you're dead, you're dead. Then it's like kind of weird. Like, I'm like, well, why are they running? Why
Yeah,
can't the zombies run? Because that would make it exciting. But now it's like, no, it's too slow for me. I just want action.
yeah, yeah. I like the running.
Yeah, come on
Yeah,
in.
yeah. It's fun when they run, and yeah, like that's something I like to watch when I like run, and like it's nice, and I even like to hear theme tracks, soundtracks from different series and films because I find it like amusing.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I think the originals, that's like more a vampire werewolf
Yeah,
kind of series. I really love the tunes that they play in the series.
yeah, yeah. I like the Vampire Diaries. Yeah,
Yeah,
I like the tunes in there. Um,
yeah.
yeah, like I didn't get the chance to watch the originals, but I kind of know what it is about because it's from linked to the Vampire Diaries a little bit. Um,
Well, the Vampire Diaries was kind of sweet, but
yeah.
the originals is kind of scary sometimes. I was like,
Oh, okay.
this not my child cannot watch this one because he wouldn't sleep in it, I think, ever again because he's quite sensitive to stuff like that.
Yeah,
So I really enjoyed it. It was such a I was so devastated. There were like only 5 seasons, and then it was finished, and I'm like, no, there has to come a sequel. Why?
yeah,
And of course, the bad guy is the turns out to be not the bad guy in the end, and then you get like a sympathy for the bad one, and I really love that kind of stories.
yeah. I like the vampire werewolf ones, and like you got Team Wolf, which is good.
Yeah.
Um, I think this year they're making a film actually for Team Wolf. So
Oh,
that's gonna be nice after I think quite a long time. But although I only watched the series last year, I kind of binged it. um, so yeah, it's really good, and it kind of like when you watch these things, it kind of gets you to think: are there actually werewolves out there? Are there vampires out there in real life? So it's very interesting.
yeah, 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 it does. And I think because the magic of the story because it's a real fantasy, and I think that's make it so comforting to watch, because it's a world like we are living in a world that's like kind of different for others, but that's like
Yeah.
a world for us that's kind of different, like in a fantasy, and it's very, yeah, I really like that kind
Yeah.
of story.
Yeah, the world's changed a lot, hasn't it, the last few years, I think for everybody,
Yeah,
and and even this year, as well.
yeah, it's quite
Um,
overwhelming, all the news. I don't watch the
yeah,
news anymore. I just read the headlines and
yeah,
as
yeah,
fast as I can, because I get yeah, it's yeah. Sometimes things can make you anxious, and I think to keep my headspace, I just watch as less news as possible.
yeah, yeah. It's good. It's good for your mental health and anxiety as well, because it can make you worry about things
Yeah, I
and
need to sleep at some
yeah,
point, you know. And if I
yeah,
watch
yeah.
the news, I can't sleep anymore because I worried for everybody.
Yeah, yeah, we need to sleep. And like, like it's good that I suppose we can. I know at the moment some people will find it hard and to sleep as well. So it's hard, but yeah, I'm the same. I get on my phone the notifications and stuff. So I will. Nighttime sometimes I'll put the news on. I'll probably watch it more than I used to though. Now.
Yeah,
Probably these last few years, most people have watched the news more than they used to watch it.
yeah, I guess so. And also because if you're home and there's a lockdown, yeah, there's nothing else to do than just turn the
Yeah,
news on. Are there less people contagious or whatever? You know, you really. That's what one thing that I did listen to, and I was really close, keeping the charge of, oh, is it going to get higher or lower? Because yeah, I just hope that the pandemic ends someday, um, because it's it's so unpredictable, and I don't like unpredictability.
no, we want certainty.
Yeah, certainty,
Yeah,
no
yeah,
change.
no, no. But yeah, it's crazy. Like what's happened these past few years and not knowing when these things will end.
Yeah,
Because yeah, we come into 2022 thinking maybe the pandemic will get better.
yeah.
Um,
I still have the idea that like maybe when all this is over and the war I hopefully stops soon and it becomes 2023, I still have the idea that it's still 2020. I don't know what it is, but it feels like 2 years gone by without noticing, you know? It's like
yeah, yeah.
where did the time go?
It'd be nice when all of it does kind of finish and come to a close, which I hope so one day, that we can go back to the 2019. Um,
Yeah.
when
And then
yeah,
skip those years. Skip
yeah,
those 2 years
this
after that.
yeah, yeah, and then you'll be saying to everyone Happy New Year in 2019. Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, 2019 was a good year. Um, but then we come into the new year, and then it all starts from there.
Everything start with a bang.
Yeah,
But we have to keep it positive,
yeah,
Mason.
yeah,
I always believe that there will be good things to look forward to, and yeah, maybe the negotiations in the war will be ending it, and I just hope that the world gets a little more peaceful instead of so rumbling all the time.
yeah. We need to keep like being like positive and keep happy and like hopefully yeah, like we say, things stop uh, over and then all ends and then like pandemic was still going on though, but it's hard, isn't it? Like to
Yeah.
but yeah, like this is why we create one of the reasons I create a podcast was probably due to the pandemic. So the pandemic is not all bad. Um, as much as it is, there are good parts. Like as you say, like you have like
The peace and quiet in
yeah,
the
the peace and quiet. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
The only the bad thing was that I like to go to take a walk in nature because I live near a big huge forest here. And all of a sudden there were a lot of people in the forest. That was one thing I didn't like. But you know, and there's a lot of students here, and when the pandemic started they weren't allowed to be on the street in the evening, so it was really quiet. But now the weather is getting better and all the students are getting back, so I'm kind of happy for them that they can do things again. And because I think for the students here, especially the foreign student, really had a hard time because they don't have their peers, they don't have their family here, and they really need to mingle again and get along or among others. That's a good thing. So
Yeah,
even though I don't like the noise they make, and because they skinny dip in the river here at 3 o'clock in the evening, but I just hope that they find their joy again, because yeah, I think it's a necessary need.
yeah, we got to find our joy. We got to still do the things we like, and like even though what's happened, and we can do stuff. Like it doesn't mean we can't. Um, like lockdowns were, I suppose, it's the best time to go out because no one was about.
Yeah.
uh, but getting told everyone to go in, and you kind of go out, I think, at certain times of the day, only to get food it was, and stuff. And over here in the UK, don't know what it was like in the Netherlands, but everyone was stocking up on toilet roll for some reason.
Yeah. Like how many times do you go to the toilet? How many rolls do you need? Like, why? It's like people with like 40 packages of toilet paper. Well, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, are they trying to like shield their house with toilet roll?
I
Like
don't
go
know.
like
I need wallpaper. Just use the toilet paper. We have like 30 packages. It's
yeah,
no. It's like weird things. I know in the beginning, me and my boyfriend went to the grocery store and like everything was gone. And I'm a celiac, so I have to eat gluten free. And well, that's expensive. They they left the expensive stuff. So I was happy that I could just get my food, my safe foods there. But it was so weird. And
yeah,
that's what people do when they get anxious. They get like freaked out. Oh, we have to need food. But if you don't have gas, you can't make food. So
yeah. We need to wait.
yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's really good like hearing about like other people's autism stories because I see some other people like they like to relate it to their work and their job, and some people don't. And what do you think? Because like it was like 8 years ago you was diagnosed. Why do you think you thought of creating a Instagram account based around like raising awareness for autism? Do you think?
the reason, the absolute reason was because I really needed to find my people that understood me, because I felt so incredibly lonely. I had like the idea, no, but this sounds really, really pathetic maybe, but I was so lonely. There was nobody in my environment that understood me, because yeah, my parents are very nice, but they didn't understand me because they don't have autism, and they don't feel and process stuff like I do. And also with my son, he had like no peers at all. And what really helped was to write all the things down that I struggle with, because maybe there's somebody out there that is just like diagnosed and has the same struggles, and then they find, oh, it's not just me, there are more people having trouble with this, and maybe we can connect. Because that's I really love. A lot of people send me DMs, and I always try to answer them as soon as possible, um, because you might be the only kind face they see a day. You
Mm,
don't know who's the other one on the other side of the chat, or that follows you. There are a lot of people that are very, very lonely, and I guess just to be there for them, because I had nobody at the time, and I know how it feels if you are like standing there and you have nobody to help you and you have no idea where to look for, and the books they recommend are like, nice, but they're not written by autistic people. So you can't relate to something a professor said. And in the beginning, you always think, oh, that's the truth because, well, it's a professor and he writes it. So you take that for the truth. But the actual truth is that you learn so much more from people with the same struggles and the same coping strategies, and you don't have to be ashamed that you've been burned out, because I had like a burnout for 5.5 years because I thought if I just went going, then it will be okay. But then it ended up in a big bad burnout. That's why I just want people to be there and help them, to share my story, to raise awareness, so they know that they are not alone in this.
Yeah.
Because we like a huge community, and I've met so many amazing people online, and they're so open. And of course, there are some people that like are there for a different reason, and well, just scroll and watch another story, and just pick your things that help you. And yeah, I think that's just amazing. I think I grow more by connecting with others and sharing stories with each other than a whole therapist can do for you.
Yeah.
For me, it was like that then.
Yeah. It's hard to like like it's hard to talk do it is hard to speak about it, and I suppose it does take time to see other people and hear about other people, um because there's you don't think when you're diagnosed with something, you don't think there's many people. If they say it's um that you've got it, you automatically think you might be the only one has that,
Yeah,
and then little you know you're not, and then I suppose you feel better that way, even though you may feel still alone. Then gradually hopefully you meet other
yeah.
people, and like some people don't like to speak about their autism, they rather keep it to themselves. So yeah, it kind of depends if you want to speak about it or you don't.
Yeah, well, I know, and I know I'm not the only one with it, because at the moment you get your answer, you have like autistic ADHD or neurodivergent, or it doesn't matter. You wanna scream it off the rooftops because you got an answer for all the things you stumbled along in life. And people often tell me, why do you always talk about autism? Because I want to. I just want to raise awareness. You have like the very stigmatic view of people with autism, so I'm here to change your view. It's like, it's not like an obsession, but I really have made it a mission to show the different faces, that we are equally as important as other people, and our voices need to be heard. And it's so annoying when people say, well, I always have to do so much effort because you are autistic or you are ADHD. No, we have to do a lot of effort all day, every day, and you only have to do it like an hour. So get over it. you know, it's for us, it's so much more trouble. If you, for example, have an appointment in the middle of the day, your whole day is gone because you're only busy with the appointment. You can't do anything before it or after it. You have the appointment at 2 o'clock, and you can't do anything until the appointment is gone. But if people understand what autism is, they get like empathy for you, and they have patience for you. And that's, yeah, and they if they ask what do you need, because I don't know what your necessities are, but for me the most important thing is just clarity. I just want to know, and predictability, what is going to happen, how we're going to do it. And if you change things, please tell me ahead and not at the moment, because that's difficult to get back to it and keep on track.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think that if autistic people understand that are things that you get overwhelmed by, then they understand themselves better. And that's also a reason to write things down, because when people say, oh, you're overwhelmed, you have no idea what makes you get overwhelmed? Is it the noise? Is it the sound? Is it the fumes? You know, you have to
Yeah.
figure that out yourself. And if you know it can be because you went to a birthday party and there were like a lot of people, or that you went to a candle shop, and that might sound a bit weird, but the fumes in a candle shop is so overwhelming, but you notice it afterwards. You know, it's just stuff like that that you shouldn't think about before, then
Yeah.
seem to be overwhelming, but then you can connect the dots, and that's so much easier if you are yeah, connecting with people who have like the same things or already invented it for you, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
so much easier.
Yeah. Yeah. I completely agree. Like, and the word like use clarity, and I agree. I think it's like, you do need that when you have autism, because it's like it takes time to, I suppose, accept that you've got autism and stuff. But yeah, like one more thing before we finish. I just wanted to ask, is there any like anything else that you want to add, or like any advice maybe you give to other people that have autism as well?
Yeah, if you are really looking for like help, just look at the actual autistic people here on the Instagram or social media. I don't know where you are on, but look for your peers, look for your own tribe, and especially if you don't have a lot of people in your environment. There's like a lot of people in the community that are looking for uh, connection, that are looking for answers, that are looking for you as a friendship, just online, no strings attached. And I really think that being among people that are like-minded, that helps so much in your process of healing and understanding. And I think that's the most beautiful thing about our community, is that you can find yourself back, because I did. Even I already had like my diagnosis at that time, 7.5 years. The last years brought me um, so much myself back, because of the connection with people and sharing stories and reading stories. Um, and I don't feel alone anymore. And I think that's really priceless.
Yeah, yeah, I completely agree, and like it's good that you don't feel alone now, Laura. I got other people and the autism community to speak to, which is good. Um, but well, it's been really nice talking to you today, Laura. It's been
Yeah, thanks to you,
been
Mason.
nice. Yeah, it's
Finally.
yeah,
It took me.
finally. uh,
Sorry.
yeah, it's been good timing, Laura.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm. Well, thank you, Laura. It's been a really nice chat.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mason.